Is Lævateinn broken or balanced? We're going to find out in this video. The tank is currently available as part of Valhalla event. It is tier 8 premium mercenary medium tank. And if you're planning to buy this tank, do keep in mind you can get a 25% discount if you finish the Champion Spots Challenge stage 7. But you have to make sure you pick Loki as your god. And why wouldn't you, right? Well, it is a tier 8, so I mean you can pick another god as well, but we do have a community clan with the name Loki, and if you want to join that clan, well, it's kind of mandatory to pick Loki, huh? Just kidding, by the way. So let's get started with the equipment I'm using. Advanced loader, advanced concealment, advanced optics, using 3 large consumables, medkit, repair kit, and rations, and camo paint. For crew, I'm using 1 liter rapid loading, steady aim, snapshots, silent driving, camouflage expertise, 6 sense, situational awareness, and run and gun. I'm not using gun stabilizer for equipment, but using all 3 skills to make up for the gun handling. For the modules, we have engine and fuel tank in the back, ammo rack in the middle, and then 3 crew members, 2 in the turret and 1 driver in the hull. Looking at the armor viewer, so as you can see, this tank turret is the turret of tier 8 heavy, Swedish heavy Tornwagen. A solid turret on a medium because it keeps that armor values, and you can bounce a lot of shots. You would notice it's a different turret, very narrow for the middle, but do have wide sides. So when you're poking or using your gun depression, you're not easy for them to pen you reliably. They're definitely solid turret for a medium tank for sure. It does have a different hull though. Not sure what this hull is. 115 lower and lower plate. Then 90 mm of side armor, as you can see. Upper hull is 80 mm angle as well, and side is 60 mm. So you can kind of side scrape it as well. But the strength, as I said, it is a solid turret armor, I would say. We had 330 mm of turret ring, 280 mm of mantlet here, and then 250 on the lower side, and then you have 180 at the top. 50 mm on the rear, and then of course 30 mm of tracks. So solid armor for a medium tank, and it keeps decent mobility as well. So now let's look at the stats. It is of course after the equipment and crew I have equipped. Goes 56, decent top speed for a medium at tier 8, power to weight 16.71, 1350 hit points. So hit points are a little less for a tier 8 medium. Usually we get like 1450, so definitely less hit points by 100, below average. Hull rotation 44, concealment 289 stationary, 298 moving, and vision 486. 41 degrees of turret rotation, 10 degrees gun depression, 20 degrees elevation. Reload time 5.83, accuracy 0.28, decent accuracy. Aim time 1.9, lot of shells, you get 60. However, first is AP, premium heat, and then third is HE. No APCR though, so that's a little bit of an issue at times because both shells have slow shell velocity, makes sniping a little bit more difficult. But because the tank does have decent turret armor, you can kind of play semi-aggressively and use that turret and play close quarters. So not so good at sniping, but is effective close to mid-range. Penetration 208 standard, 270 heat, 45 HE, 2878 of DPM, solid DPM as well, and solid alpha of 280 as well. I don't expect a medium to have less alpha than 280 at tier 8, so that's the minimum I would accept. So acceptable for me. 300 even better, but 280 I'll take it. Anything less than that, like 240, not acceptable for me. So decent DPM alpha gun handling, but the shells or the AP and heat shell definitely slow. 960 on AP, 950 on heat. For premium bonus, we have 50% silver bonus, premium vehicle run rate of 10%. And looking at all this stats, it's a solid balanced tank, not broken at all. The only thing is, if you are limited on gold, I always say go for basic season pass always, and then upgrade to ultimate. For tier 8, it is not an IP, so it's gonna come back. Maybe it'll be earnable in the future. Who knows? It is a tier 8. If you have limited gold, I wouldn't recommend spending it on tier 8. Save it for season passes. That's the order you should go in, and if you have extra gold to spare, then sure, why not? But make sure to use the discount as well. So definitely a balanced tank, and it's time to see how it performs in the battlefield. I'm in Vineyard, South Spawn, and I was looking to have a decent matchmaking as well, as I am top tier. And in this gameplay, I kind of do everything that you would do in this tank and see how it performs. So initially using that mobility 56 and pushing towards A6, not only is the speed decent, it also maintains it easily, good acceleration. Of course there are faster tanks like Dragon or not, but this tank, the mobility is not an issue. So is the DPM. DPM is not an issue either. The main issue, as I mentioned, is the slow shell velocity of AP and heat. However, it is a double-edged sword. So because if the premium is APCR, I just fire APCR, which means I lose silver, and even in a premium tank, I'm not making silver, which is the goal of the premium tank. So at least when you have this type of ammo, you do end up making more silver as you fire standard more often than not, and also because he just gets absorbed when you're shooting to the side more often than not. Already at A6, I do have support from the heavy tanks. There is a opponent heavy spotted and Scorpion G and Sturm Panzer 5. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked the Sturm Panzer 5 review, make sure to check that as well. Essentially a unskinned creature, and here it is, beautiful gun depression. And I can reliably, because the turret space is so small, it is not that easy to hit or get hit. And sometimes when they RBRT, they just miss it because you know how small it is. So Scorpion G is down. Kinda rushed my second shot. I would have penned T-34. Not this time though. Took my time. Did get unlucky that the Sturm Panzer penned me with HE. I do think it was him and not anyone from the right. So 1200 assist and 800 damage so far. I should have waited to get unspotted, but I'm just pushing because I'm greedy, and that's why I got shot here. Do this a lot for some reason, you know, lack of patience. Do ended up spotting the IKV and Hellcat. This time I'm waiting to lose my spot because I do need to take some revenge from the Hellcat. The tier 6 bullying a tier 8, a Lævateinn, the Loki tank, huh? No, not happening. Sturm Panzer 5, another shot into his side. I'm just pushing here, no waiting. As I said, no stabilizer, but you can see gun handling is respectable. So if the target is slow, doesn't have armor, it will hit it. It's usually, you know, the faster tanks, the light tanks that are moving fast, essentially. You might struggle. Another shot into Cat 2, he is tracked. And even on the move, I penned every shot so far, and that is it. Time for him to go back to the garage. 2200 damage. We are winning by 5 tanks. I'm just being aggressive, and as I said, I can rely on its armor, definitely decent turret, and even the hull is trolly if they don't aim the shots properly. And because I have the mobility, whenever I'm spotted, I can kind of move left and right so they miss, and that's what happened. A shot barely missed me, and 112 gets spotted. He's pushing, but not the second time though, because I was going in straight line. I think it was, not sure if it was Slapjack, probably the tank destroyer. So again, going to the hull down position. Panzer Knacker rushed my shot and hit the dirt there. Beautiful support, 3k assist. That's what I need, you know, quality teammates that hit what I spot, and I'm the only one spotting them, so I get all the assist damage. Not split at all. Another RBRT and the medium get penetrated and then deleted by J Panther. 33 assists, 3k damage and a kill. 4 tanks remaining. I wanted to peek here, but at the same time that IKB has been scoping me, so didn't really peek. Decided to push from the other side. Wait, I'm gonna do another check on the left. Maybe I'll spot someone. I do end up spotting the Slapjack, and yeah, he would shoot me multiple times when I'm crossing in the open. So right side seems or feels a little bit more safer as there are more ridges. 3 tanks remaining. Slapjack is healthy, of course, and then we have IKV. There it is. He's been running since the very beginning, since he penned me early on. Slapjack unable to pen me, again using that dance of Lævateinn the Trickster. Another bounce on the hull as well. I think he's shooting standard as well. That's probably the reason. Poor aiming though. I ended up only tracking him this time. Side scraping here again. Another non-penetration by Slapjack. However, he's getting farmed by our team T-32 Proto. Then finally it's time to deal with this IKB who's been running away the entire time. Can I ram him before he reloads? I don't have to. T-32A was loaded and he took him out. So overall, as I said, solid tank. It's just a tier 8. The life of tier 8 is hard. And when you're limited on gold, the best thing to get is the season passes. So do let me know in comments, are you planning to get this tank, or are you planning to get any other Valhalla tank, or are you just sitting out of the event? But in case you do plan to buy tanks, please do make sure to get the discount or choose the god as per your tank. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.